I'm here to inform you classmates today on anxiety. Just wanted to let you guys know that I have my firsthand experience with anxiety, that it's a real thing, that I have struggled with anxiety since my mid-teens, in which case this was a learned disorder. Not in most cases is it a learned disorder. Some cases it's passed down. However, my mom also was diagnosed with anxiety at the same time that I was. I was about 14 when I went in, fresh into high school. We knew that something was wrong, and we were right. Today, I just wanted to let you know that it's real, and some people let it consume their whole lives. I have had a very mild case of anxiety along with my mother, so we were the lucky few. But that's my firsthand experience. Today I'd like to just go over the symptoms of anxiety and let you know what those are, so maybe you might be able to define it in the future and recognize that in yourself or other people, maybe someone that you love. Go over the different types of anxiety with you that can stem from anxiety, other disorders that can stem from anxiety, and how to treat the disorder, because that's a big part in it as well. To start, we need to define anxiety. My generalized anxiety is also called GAD, or GAD, is what my doctor called it. Worries and fears that distract you from your day-to-day activities. I had a lot of those. Sometimes you can be called a worrywart in those, in which case this can be undermined and just blown off, and that could get very serious. That's not a good thing. I was feeling some type of attacks in my middle school years, so that's how we recognized mine. But also the doctor defined it as he saw me a couple times, a few times in a 6-month span, and he would check up. What they say is if you worry more often than not in a 6-month period, then you have anxiety. This could be serious if you don't recognize it soon or fast or early. In order to get a better feel for anxiety, I'd like to just go over all the different types of it, let you know how to define those. So maybe if you don't have general anxiety, you'd have maybe a different type of anxiety, or someone you love, someone close to you may have a different type of anxiety that you could recognize. To name them: panic attacks, which is what I had, obsessive compulsive disorder, phobias, social anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Each of these have their own characteristics and their own definitions. Some of them may surprise you as being related to anxiety, some of them may not. Like panic attacks, that's the first one that I'm going to go over. Like I said, that's what I had, that's what I struggled with in middle school. I would have a panic attack a few times. During my 8th grade year, my mom recognized that and took me to the doctor, which was a good thing. We caught it early. My panic attacks left me with a disabled feeling. This would sometimes happen after a day of long, stressful, maybe talks in the classroom, or a teacher calling on me, or maybe a big test that was coming up. Those did it in for me. OCD, maybe this was a little surprising to you because it was for me. Obsessive compulsive disorder is what that's called. This is a case, I think, which is most documented in people, or on TV at least, where you see the person struggle with themselves, where they don't want to really check the door 3 times to see if they've locked it, but they have to anyways. Just what their body wants. I also struggle with phobias. My doctor recognized this in me. This is a worry that prevents little to no danger to yourself or others, but you still think about it. And really, once you recognize that, you can shoo that off in your mind. Some people have it differently. But post-traumatic stress disorder happens after a life-threatening deal that goes down. Some people it's the war that they've served in. Some people it's a car crash. This can vary. It's hard to tell, really, but those are also very serious conditions. But if someone has recoiled from you, doesn't really want to go ahead and spend time with you as a family member, or they're experiencing nightmares or flashbacks where they get the cold sweats, that's when you can start to recognize that post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD is what they abbreviate that to. But now that I'm in control of my anxiety, I'd like to know that other people can be too, or let you know that other people can be too. Treatments and therapies. This is my visual here, in which case there's a lot of them, medications being one, therapy being another one. That's what I did for my general anxiety, what my mom did for hers. here you can see prescription medication is one of the most used and what people say help them a lot. I'll have a link to this underneath my video later, but this is all the anxiety treatments, yoga and meditation being few directly after prescription medication. In which case, that's what I used. My doctor had me meditate and do yoga. Not a big fan of yoga, but I did it anyways. But, you know, that's others like me that don't have it more seriously can do that for their anxiety. As I bring this speech to a close now, I'd like to hope that you're familiarized with everything that I've talked about with anxiety really in general, so you can recognize that and catch it early in someone else or yourself. Like to know that you know its symptoms and the different types of anxiety, the different disorders that can stem from them, and treating the disorder clearly. I hope that you don't let anyone go with this unnoticed now that you know about it. I didn't let it take over my life, and hopefully it won't take over yours or a person that you love. But thank you so much for watching.